Hey loves, it's Angelica aka Angie B, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing this soft holiday bronzy glowy soft glam makeup and I hope you guys enjoyed it. This vlogmas we are starting with primer, and I'm using my YSL Touche Eclat primer, and I'm putting this mainly in the center of my face where I have larger pores. And now we are going to color correct using my Barry M color corrector. You want to not go heavy handed with this because as you can see it's very pigmented. I believe this is the color terracotta, and I just blended it all out with my Real Techniques brush and then went over with my beauty sponge from Equal2's. And now it's time for foundation. I'm using my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate foundation in the color C11.2, which is basically my perfect shade match, and I'm using the same brush I used to color correct just to blend that and buff it into my skin. As you guys can see, this is not a very well, it is quite a full coverage foundation, but I'd say it's medium to full coverage because I put a very thin layer, and I didn't want like a thick cast of makeup because you know it's the holidays, you want to feel fresh, soft and all that. So I just put one thin layer and then I went over with my beauty sponge again. And then it is time to move on to concealer, and in the corners just near my eyes I'm using the Makeup Revolution concealer in the color C11, and then everywhere else I'm using C11.2 because this is the more nice and yellow tone. It is not very brightening as you see when I blend it out, but it was mainly for the coverage which I wanted under my eyes because I actually had the flu on this day and I was trying to look healthy and better. So I'm using the same sponge just to blend it out. And if I didn't mention this, I let the concealer sit for about 2 minutes before I blended it out just so it could be nice and full coverage. And now just to brighten it up a little bit, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the color 25. I believe that's a light medium. I'll link all the products I'm using in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. And I blend it out with the same sponge again, and also just take that over my eyes. And now to contour, I'm using this Makeup Revolution. By the way, this is not sponsored by Makeup Revolution. I just love their products. Anyway, I'm contouring using the Makeup Revolution foundation stick in the color F14. It is a nice dark color, but it is more on the cool side, so you guys can see I'm not blending it too much. I just want it for the shadow, and I'm basically keeping it where it is. And to bronze up, I will be using a different Makeup Revolution concealer in the color C13, which is the one I'm holding right now, and I just put it on the back of my hand instead of on my face, and I was picking up just little bits on the brush and then going over the contour area but a little bit higher up, and then again blending it out with the same sponge. And now, wow, I used a lot of Makeup Revolution products I did not notice. Now I'm setting with the Makeup Revolution banana setting powder, luxury setting powder in the color banana, and I am doing a very light bake, not necessarily baking. And welcome to Zambia, the power just went out and I was like, what the hell? So I just adjusted my settings and you know, we continued going. So I kept that on for literally like a minute, and then now we are just dusting away the powder with this e.l.f. highlighter brush, but I like to use it for powder. And I dusted that off everywhere, and now I'm taking this big Real Techniques fluffy brush and I am just dusting powder all over the rest of my face. And now to put some moisture back into the face, I used this Makeup Revolution hyaluronic acid face mist, which is really good for setting the makeup and just dissolving that powder. And now time to bronze. I'm using my Fenty Beauty bronzer in the color Ting, I believe, and I am just focusing that into the areas where we contoured with the cream, but also a little bit on the outer side, also a little bit on where we put the other bronzer color. And now to bronze up even more, I'm using this Milani bronzer in Soleil, I think, I can't remember. I believe it's Soleil, and this just has a beautiful nice sheen. This is like an iconic bronzer you guys have probably heard. And right now I know my makeup looks slightly crazy, but trust the process, it's coming together. I'm using the same Ting bronzer to contour my nose, and then just to cut that bronzer I'm using the same Revolution powder just to make it nice and neat. And then I blended everything with the same powder brush, and then I went over to blend even more with the bronzer brush. And now it's time for blush. And I'm using that orange color from the Makeup Revolution palette, and this just brings the whole face together. I put it on the nose as well and the forehead, but very little. Then blended it out with my sponge again, and now I did my brows off camera and I'm moving on to the eyes. I'm using the same Fenty bronzer I used on my face on my eyes, and first I'm doing it like focusing it in the crease to deepen it up, and then a little bit on the edges, and then we'll go ahead and put it on the entire lid. Then on top of that, I went ahead and used the Milani bronzer as well, just to give it a slight little sheen. Now I'm using this Makeup Revolution mascara, and now it's time to go on to highlight. I am using this Dior highlight. I am so in love with this highlight, guys. It is amazing. This was actually my first time using it, and I was shook. As you guys can see, it is the perfect creamy gold and the perfect formulation. This is just amazing, and of course it's something luxury. I would recommend the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter in the color Molten Gold if you're looking for something with an amazing effect as well. But I got this for myself for my birthday. I wanted to be bougie, so I used it on all the high points of my face, tops of my cheekbones, the inner corners of my eyes, my nose, my cupid's bow, everywhere where I could possibly put it, and it was amazing. Under my brow, this is just such an amazing highlighter, and this is my new favorite find. It is a lip liner from Natural Collection in the color Cappuccino, I believe. If I'm wrong, I will put it in the description box below. But it is the perfect brown, and it's got like an orange undertone. This looks like what Ashton lip gloss or lipstick, liquid lipstick from Anastasia looks like. I have never used it, but I've seen it in pictures, and it looks very similar to this. So I am very carefully lining my lips because I like to make like the nice perfect pout. So I line my lips all around first, at the bottom and on the top, and when it's nicely lined, I start to fill in my lips using the same pencil. And I know it kind of seems like, why didn't you just fill your lips in completely at the beginning? But trust me, it makes a difference. So now I fill in the whole lip, but very lightly, not like extremely heavy. And then once that is done, you guys will see it looks so nice, and the lips look so soft and pillowy and matte. And you can always put a gloss over if you want them to be glossy, and I always do this with my finger at the end because it kind of blurs out the edges of my lip liner, and it makes the lips look more natural and soft and pillowy. Then I went ahead and put just a little bit more highlighter on the top, and just redid the lip liner. And now I went on with a little bit of this NYX gloss in the color Stockholm, just to brighten up the center just a little bit. And this is basically the finished look. Also, by the way, I did put on Ardell Demi Wispies off camera, and this is the final look, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Right after this, I went ahead and put on my little wig just to slay you guys. Please subscribe if you didn't in the beginning, and watch the 2 suggested videos because you might like those. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.